Hey everybody, it's Tia, and today's video is going to be on Hollywood Exes, Season 1, Episode 2. Alright everybody, here we go. First scene starts off with Cherie and Andrea. They are walking around, and they actually go to an ATM machine where you can get cupcakes from the ATM. That's kind of cool and weird, but Cherie shows us something different in California that supposedly they don't have in Chicago, and they don't have it where I live either, so that was kind of interesting to see. So she shows us that. They sit down and have a heart-to-heart talk, and you know, Cherie's basically asking Andrea, well, she basically tells her that she sees that she's in a good place, and then she asks her about R. Kelly and why she thought R. Kelly kept their marriage a secret. And Andrea said she basically didn't know. She said it was nice to walk around with the kids and do things without paparazzi and people bothering her and everything, but she still thought it was bad because people didn't know who she was, and that that most people realized who she was after she got a divorce from R. Kelly. And Cherie said that she believed that he kept this secret to protect his image as well. It was the image he had to put out there, but she believed it was some other personal issues going on too. And I think the same thing, y'all, because you get to the point when you're married and people don't know you're married until stuff starts happening. That's a bad sign. So Andrea basically felt that because of the struggle, and she felt that things weren't being reciprocated on her end, where she was getting the attention and the appreciation that she deserved, she decided to walk away. And that's basically what her and Cherie were talking about. So you get to the next scene, which is Jessica and Josie. They are in the car, and Josie's talking about her boyfriend, how they're having problems and they always argue, and she wants to really be free and be able to date whoever she wants. Jessica feels that that's not a good idea, that she should be with just one guy. She also feels that Josie is the way she is because she has daddy issues, and that's the way she kind of was with Jose, and with Jose not being in her life, that's the reason she feels the way she feels about guys. So they go around back and forth a little bit about that. Josie basically tells her she's in love, and Jessica's happy for her and everything. She said, "Oh, I can't believe my daughter's in love," and that's basically where that scene ends. So you get to the next scene, which is Monte and Manuela. Manuela was also married to Prince as well. Did y'all remember that? I kind of forgot that he got married for a second time. But anyway, he married Manuela. Her and Monte are friends, and she said it's nice to be friends with somebody that knows what it's like to be married to Prince. She ain't lying, y'all. I mean, I know they had to be different. So they've had a friendship for a while. They're sitting outside the restaurant, and Manuela is also now married to Eric Benet, and they have a newborn. The last time I heard, they were just going together, but in the video she said they're married with a kid. So she shows a picture of her newborn, and Monte is smiling and everything like that, but she says her seeing the baby makes her think about her baby that she had with Prince, which is what I talked about in the first episode. She said that she carried the baby to term. The baby had birth defects. She said the baby did not make it, and the baby was alive for 1 week, and then the baby passed on. She also talked about that she got pregnant for the second time. I'm assuming it's with Prince as well, and I guess she must have had a miscarriage. She talked about how sad that is, that she's still sad, and that she really wants to have another kid, but she wants to find with the right man. Okay, my thing that hurt me get on it because she's getting old, and you don't want to have kids if you're really, really, really old in life, but you could tell that she was really hurt, and she really, really wants to be a mother, but she wants to be with the right man. So hopefully she'll find that right man. And basically that's where the scene ends, is with her and Manuela still at the restaurant. Okay, you get to the next scene, which is Andrea and Tony, and they're looking to buy a house together. Andrea says she can't believe she was with one guy, divorced another guy, she's gonna go stay with another guy, which is Tony, but she says she thinks it'll be okay. That's her Judy and he's her Judette or whatever, and she said they're gonna have a good time. So they're in this particular house, her, Tony, and this real estate agent, which they didn't show her name, black lady, and she's showing them the different parts of the house. She's showing them the kitchen, living room, the pool, and Andrea said it's very nice. And the real estate agent says, you know, it's a lot different than Chicago. It's not the big house that you're used to, but it's a nice house. And Andrea says she likes it, loves it, and winds up taking the house. So the house is hers, y'all. And basically that's how that scene ends. So you get to the next scene, which is Nicole and her mother. Her mother comes to visit her every so often. She lives in another state. And she said when she comes to visit her, they go to beauty salon and pamper and have the mother and daughter moment. So they get to the salon, and of course her mom asked her about her engagement to Michael. She said, how's everything going? When you gonna get married? She said soon. And her mom said, well, my God, I hope I'm not dead by the time you get married. Because like I told y'all, she's been engaged to that man for a minute. So she's like, man, you need to hurry up and get married. So at least when you do, I will be alive and not dead. So they had a nice little joke about that. And then she goes to ask her mom about vaginal rejuvenation. She asked her, has she heard of it? And her mom kind of just looked quizzical at her. So she tells her what it is, how they plump it up and they use a laser to tighten your vagina. She said, why do you do something about that with my vagina? She said, I haven't had sex in years. She said, I got cobwebs. And they make a big joke about that. Nicole asked her mom, is it wrinkly down there? She said, I don't know, get a mirror and check. She's like, I don't want to check. She said, no, my stuff is not wrinkly. My stuff is like a flower. She says, she said, I call it my flower. When I go to the doctor, I tell her it's blooming. And so they get a big laugh off of that, joke around. And then that's how that scene ends with the two of them. So next thing you get to is Jessica and Josie. They're at a store somewhere, I guess, where you sell clothes and shoes and things of that nature. So Jessica is sitting down and saying, you know, I gotta tell you something about your father. Josie's like, oh my God, what? She's like, he asked if he could move in with me. And Josie's like, really? What? And she's like, yeah. She said, well, Jessica asked her how she feel about that. And Josie said, well, it would be nice because it would be a family again. We'd be a family together. She said, but on the other hand, it'd be kind of weird having him around all the time. And so Josie thinks that they're getting back together as a couple. And Jessica's like, no, we're not going to be a couple. We're just going to move in as friends and friends only. Josie said, really? She said, that's bullshit. First of all, y'all, I wouldn't cut in front of my mom like that. That was a no-no, but we know that Jessica allows that because that's like her friend buddy, even though that's her daughter. Anyway, so Jessica said, I know that he still has feelings for me, and that's just an excuse to move in because he's talking about trying to be closer to you. So they both agree that his intentions is not just to be there for his daughter, that he thinks that, they both think that he might want to be with her as well. So Jessica's like, you know, that's not what I really want. It might be a bad idea. You know, I have to pay. I'm thinking this. She should get a house for him or an apartment where he lives on his own. I don't think he should have to move in with her because that spells disaster on all kinds of levels. Not trying to make it as a couple. They try to move in. If she's trying to date somebody else, he's trying to date somebody else, it could be a big problem that everybody has said, including her. But anyway, she's talking to her daughter, and she realizes that her daughter would pretty much do anything to be with her father because she loves him, even live out on the street with him. Jessica gets upset as a side note and says that that's hard to hear, and she feels bad for Jose because Jose is broke and he doesn't have no place to really go, and if it's her time to help him out, then that's what she feels like she should do. So that's what she says as a side note. They're still talking and shopping, and that's basically how the scene ends with them. So you get to the next scene, which is Andrea and Nicole. Nicole comes over to Andrea's house, and they just have a little get together and sit down. And Andrea's saying how different it is living here than in Chicago. She said, you know, that it's more land and you got less neighbors and things of that nature. So then she's sitting down with Nicole saying, the first thing I'm thinking about, where am I going to put my pole at? Where am I going to put my mirror at? You know, for her dancing company. Because I guess she's going to have it in her house too, or for practice. they start joking about Cherie. Said we gotta get Cherie up on the pole and say, yeah, we're gonna pretend Cherie we just going to prayer, Cherie, and stuff like that. They start giggling, and Andrea said, you can get on the pole and dance through your little things with God and everything with Jesus. You know, you can. She said you can still do your thing and still be sexy, even though you're a preacher's wife. All right, Andrea. So that's basically how that scene ends with the two of them. The next thing you get to is Jessica, Nicole, and Cherie, and they're all at a restaurant. They try and get to the bottom of what's going on with Jessica trying to invite Jose to live with her. So they asked her, Cherie says, so what's going on? Have you decided whether or not you're going to live with Jose? And Jessica says she's still thinking about it. She says she wants to do it for the sake of her daughter. And Cherie says it's not just for her daughter. She said, I don't believe that. I think it's more than that. I think you still like him and want to be with him. Nicole, on the side note, says that she don't think that it's a good idea they move in together because she knows what Jessica went through when she was married to Jose and all the problems that they had. And she just feel like it's not a good idea. Nicole tells Jessica that she likes Jose, but that she doesn't feel it's a good thing for them to move in together. It would be a bad idea. Cherie said the same thing. She said, you know, if you invite him to move back in with you, it doesn't work out. Y'all argue, you fight, and he winds up leaving. That's like your daughter going through a second divorce with her father and you. Even if you're not married, it's like going through a second divorce because he's moving in. And she said you might not want to put your daughter through that because that'd be hard on her to deal with for a second time. So, you know, she thinks about it, but she basically says again that she don't know what she's going to do. She's still thinking. And that's how the scene ends with the three of them. Next thing you get to is Mate and her matchmaker Samantha. Samantha comes into the house to make sure her house is date house ready. She walks in. She says the dog should not greet your man. That's not a good idea. No doggies. Mate gets a little upset saying she knows she's not a dog lover, but you know, but she kind of right. You don't want no dog approaching your man if it's supposed to be just the two of you. That's extra out of stuff that don't need to be there. Her mom is sitting there knitting, and she said, you know, is your mom going to be sitting here when your date comes? And Mate said, oh no, she won't be here. So mom got offended saying that you don't ask people that, that's rude. So then she gets to the area of her kitchen, and you know, it's a see-through where she has all her wedding china with Prince's symbol on it and the letter M, which stands for Mate. And she says, so what's this? Is this a shrine of Prince? And Mate says, no, that's my wedding china. She said, listen, you have to move that. She said, you have to understand, if a guy comes and sees you, he might be intimidated seeing Prince's symbol, and all your china and all your cups have a cup with Prince's name on it, have a plate with Prince's name on it. So Mate agreed that was a good idea, that she should move the china. I still think she's hung up on Prince, and that's why it's sitting there like that, because I know as big as her house is, she could have put that china somewhere else, but it is visible for everybody to see clearly through the cabinet doors. Okay, she gets to the kitchen. Samantha says the kitchen's a little cluttery, needs to be a little more tidy. The cat don't need to be on top of the kitchen countertop, and she says, any way you can not have your cat around like this. Mate's mom comes in and says, listen, she said, anybody has anything to say about her cats or dogs or anything, they get shown the door. And Mate's mom again says she don't like the way the matchmaker's handling things. And then matchmaker says, okay, I'm going to leave and I'll come back. And Mate even says she didn't like the way the matchmaker was talking. But she's going to give her at least one chance to see how things work out between them. Matchmaker leaves, and that's the end of that scene. Mate and that matchmaker, boy, they something else. So you get to the next scene, which is Nicole and Jessica, and they're just sitting together talking, and Jessica asks Nicole about her wedding. When are you going to get married? And Nicole's like, my God, you're like, everybody leave me alone about me getting married. I'm going to get married. Leave me alone, basically, because she kind of got frustrated because the mom asked her the same thing. So Jessica's like, well, what kind of, you can't wear white, can you? And Nicole's like, wear what I want. She said, they said together maybe cream. And so then they start talking about wrinkles and stuff, and Nicole's talking about how her mom has wrinkles and stuff around the sides of her face, and Jessica talks about Botox. People said she need to get Botox on her forehead, and she said, I'm not going to do that. And so Nicole said, what about down there? And Jessica's like, yeah. She said, have Botox on your balls. And she said, there's nothing worse than having a saggy scrotum. And then she goes to talk about Jose and said, Jose doesn't have a saggy scrotum. She said, he took steroids, so his shit is tight like one big peanut and just sticks up and everything. And I didn't have to worry about Jose's because of what he was taking. And they get a big laugh about that. I wouldn't want my ex-wife talking about my balls like that, but she did, of course, because that's Jessica. And they got a big laugh about it. And that pretty much ends the scene with the two of them at the restaurant. So then you get to the next scene, which is Andrea and Mate. Mate comes to visit Andrea. They have a nice sit-down, heart-to-heart talk. They talk about a little bit of dancing and stuff. Mate brings it up and says that there was a guy there that knew her when she was with Prince. He said, I know I would see you again. And they thought that was so weird. And so they also talk about how it's so weird that people ask them, you know, so-and-so is coming into town, your ex-husband, you know, do you think I can get tickets? And they just high-five each other like they can't believe people ask them those kind of questions. And Mate said that some people come to her and tell her, no, you on your marriage to Prince, y'all got your marriage annulled. And Andrea couldn't believe it, and she said that she was the phantom wife. And she said that, again, more people realized who she was when they got divorced. And she said that it's been a real struggle, and she didn't feel like she could stay in Chicago. She was suffering and she had to leave. She starts to cry and talks about how, you know, it's hard when her kids ask her how come people hate their dad. And Mate starts to cry a little bit too, and she said that it's just been so hard, but she knows that she's finally made it over that struggle, and she's made it through, and she can do better, and she's there. Basically that she basically said that she thanks God for all the girls, Mate, Cherie, Nicole, and Jessica, that they've all been through what she's been through. They made it through the struggle, they made it over, and they're dealing with their lives, and they're getting through, or they got through their problems, they have moved on. And that's basically what she feels. You could tell that she's really upset with the struggle that she's having. Mainly, I guess, because she's the last person to move to a new city and be away from her ex-husband and just trying to start over. And that's what's making it so hard, because she feels like she just can't do it in Chicago now that she's divorced from R. Kelly. So they each give each other a hug, and, you know, Mate leaves her house, and that ends the scene with them. So you have the last scene. I'm sorry, I don't know why my voice is hoarse. You have the last scene, which is Nicole, Andrea, Jessica, Mate, Cherie, and Tony. They're at Andrea's house. Andrea's having a housewarming and also a wig party, you know, to celebrate her buying the house. So everybody comes over, and they're all talking, and they get to the point where they're outside. A few of them bring other people, so it's other people that's outside with them besides just the six of them. So Jessica excuses herself to go to the bathroom. While she's in the bathroom, Andrea and Nicole and Cherie are talking about Jessica's vaginal rejuvenation, and Nicole's telling her what happens and how you do it. Cherie said she didn't know that even existed. I knew it existed. Cherie, you need to get out this little bit more, baby, because that's been around for at least 10 years. And I knew about it. It's kind of weird, but I knew about it way long ago. So she said she didn't have no idea that it even existed. So Jessica comes back, and they tease her about showing her vagina. She's like, I'll show it. It's all lasered and prettied and everything. Y'all know Jessica a trip. So here comes the trouble. Cherie brings up the fact. She said that, you know, Cherie said it was her understanding that men didn't care what it looked like. And Jessica said, well, that's because you're dating a black man, honey. And everybody was like, Cherie said, no, that's not true. Jessica says that men have been coming, she said men don't go down on black women because of the way it looks. And Cherie got offended, saying, you mean the black guys are telling white women about how our bodies look? And she was like, how dare they? Now, she did say that. If you listen really closely, That's what she's saying amongst everybody talking. You would miss it if you weren't listening really hard, but that's what she said. So Jessica was like, yeah, she said that they just say that they just complain about black women's vaginas and they don't like it. They don't like to go down. And Nicole said that's not true. Cherie said it's not true. She said that Nicole said maybe they had an infection. She said it's not true, and we all know it's not true. What black men has she been talking to that said that they don't like to go down? Now there are always some in every race, especially our race, that says that, but that's not the case for most men. Most black men do go down. So they were like, what the fuck, man, you been talking about? Because that's absolutely not true. Jessica, baby, you need to get out more and talk to more black men, because that is not the case. I want to know who she's been talking to. So anyway, they make it clear to her that that's not the case, and she says that, you know, I understand. She said that I can say from personal experience that that's not true. Cherie said, what you talking about? She said, you went down a black woman before, and Jessica's like, yeah. And Cherie said, Lord. And one of their friends said, can I have another drink, please? I need another drink. So they all started doing stuff like that. And she said, when I was younger and I was experimenting, you know, that's what I did. I do that. I say, oh, what I tell y'all in the first episode, I said, Jessica, girl, okay. Yeah, black girl too? All right, Jess. So they go back to talking about Jose a little bit, and Jessica says she's still not sure what she wants to do. She's still thinking about whether or not her and Jose are going to live together. So that basically ends that scene. And you get to the last scene, which is Jessica driving in her car. She calls Jose on the phone. She puts him on speakerphone and they start talking. And she goes to tell Jose that she talked to Josie about the two of them living together. And she said that Josie said that she was really excited about it if it happens, and that they would be a family together again, and that would be, she said she would like that idea. And Jessica basically said that she was surprised that she got that reaction from Josie. She didn't think she was going to feel that way. And then she said she also told Jose what her friends thought, that it'd be a disaster, it's not a good idea, it wouldn't work out. And even Jessica said, you know, if we start dating other people, I don't want it to get awkward and be a big thing or be a big conflict or be a big mistake, because I don't know how that's going to work out. But you dating other people and I'm dating other people and we're living in the same house. And Jose basically said that he would be a Mr. Mom, he'd be a cabana boy, he'd be a pool guy. He said he basically just wants to be close to his daughter, and he could do all those things that won't be a big deal. So Jessica basically said that she would do anything she could to make sure Jose is closer to her daughter. So if it meant that she had to move in with Jose or they moved in together, then that's what she would do. And Jose said, okay. So I guess she said, yeah, y'all. She said she can't believe she said yes, and that she's hoping that she's not making a mistake and moving in with Jose. And that's when the scene ends. Alright, everybody. So that is my video. It was something else. Next episode is going to be good as well. Jessica's going to a therapist, I think, and some other stuff that I saw that looked like it's going to be pretty interesting. So that is my video, y'all. Interesting show. Don't forget to comment, rate, and if you're not a subscriber, then please subscribe to my channel, okay? Alright, everybody. I hope y'all have a good day and a good evening, depending on when you're seeing this video. Y'all take care, and I hope to see you in the next video, alright? And I want to thank you for watching. Alright? Until next time, y'all take care. Bye-bye.